Scorpio, there's news coming your way right now that will make you cry, but not tears of pain. You've already cried enough of those to fill entire oceans. This time, you'll cry in a way you don't even remember was possible. You'll cry because finally, after so long in the dark, so long believing you were too strong to deserve relief, so long carrying burdens no one saw, finally, something impossible is about to become real. And when that news arrives, it will be as if all the years of struggle, all the sleepless nights, all the times you almost gave up but kept going, will all make sense all at once. As if the universe is saying, I saw it. I always saw it. And now it's time for you to reap what you sowed with tears. You know that feeling, don't you? That moment when you've made peace with the idea that certain things simply weren't for you. When you looked at that dream you'd carried for so long and finally said, okay, I can survive without this. Where you did something that goes against your entire Scorpio nature, you let go. You let go. You accepted that perhaps some wishes were made only to teach you about detachment, not to be fulfilled. And the moment you finally managed to breathe with that painful acceptance, the moment you stopped begging the universe and began rebuilding your life around the absence of that, that's exactly when the turning point happens. The news coming your way isn't small. It's not a gradual improvement or a vague hope. It's a complete and definitive transformation in an area of your life where you'd completely lost faith. It's that door you were sure was locked forever opening wide. It's the impossible becoming not only possible, but inevitable. It's the universe delivering not a reduced version of what you asked for, but an expanded, perfected version, better than you dared dream. And you will cry because Scorpios don't cry for nothing. You know pain. You've lived at rock bottom and learned not only to survive there, but to transform that darkness into power. You know what it's like to carry deep wounds without ever letting anyone see. You know what it's like to smile in public while inside you're falling apart. So when you cry with joy, and you will, those tears carry the weight of all the previous pain you've transmuted. They are tears of victory from someone who knows intimately the taste of defeat. The news that's coming is about something specific. For some of you, it's about a professional or financial opportunity that will completely change your level of material security. For others, it's about a deep emotional connection with someone who finally sees and values you the way you've always deserved. For others still, it's about a transformation in your health, your family situation, or the realization of a long-held dream. But regardless of the specific area, the essence is the same. It's confirmation that your suffering was not in vain, that your silent struggles have been seen, that you haven't been forgotten by the universe. Scorpios born between October 23rd and November 2nd. Your news relates to something you sacrificed long ago, thinking you'd never see it again. A possibility you killed within yourself to protect your own heart. It's resurrecting, but in a form you don't immediately recognize because it's evolved far beyond the version you originally desired. For those born between November 3rd and 13th, the big news involves recognition. Something you did in the shadows, without an audience, without applause, just because it needed to be done. It will finally be seen. And not just seen, but rewarded in a way that will validate all the moments where you questioned whether anyone cared, whether anyone noticed, whether anyone understood how much you gave of yourself. And for Scorpios born between November 14th and 22nd, this news is about liberation. Something that held you back, limited you, made you feel powerless, that's coming to a dramatic and definitive end. And in the space that prison occupied, possibilities you couldn't even imagine are about to blossom. But here's what will make this moment particularly powerful for you, Scorpio. You won't just receive this good news. You'll understand, on a deep, visceral level, why you had to go through everything you did to get here. You'll see with crystal clarity how each challenge prepared you, how each disappointment strengthened you, how each moment of darkness taught you to appreciate the light in a way that people who have never hit rock bottom simply can't comprehend. Your ability to feel deeply, something that often felt like a curse, will prove to be your greatest blessing. Because when this news arrives, you won't just be superficially happy. You'll experience levels of gratitude, joy, and fulfillment that transcend the ordinary. You'll feel every layer of this victory reverberating through all the layers of pain you've accumulated. It's an alchemy only Scorpios can perform, transforming all the lead of suffering into the pure gold of triumph. Lately, you've probably felt a strange restlessness, as if something was stirring beneath the surface of your life, but you couldn't quite pinpoint what. You may have had vivid dreams, vague premonitions, feelings that something significant was approaching. Your Scorpio sixth sense, which is rarely wrong, was picking up on the energetic waves of this news forming before it even physically manifested. You may also have noticed strange synchronicities, specific numbers appearing repeatedly, random conversations with strangers that touched on topics surprisingly relevant to you, songs you haven't heard in years, suddenly playing at the exact moment you needed that message. The universe has been preparing you, calming you, reassuring you that something big is coming. And at times, you may have felt afraid of that hope, because you know how painful it is to come down from a high. You know what it's like to build expectations and watch them crumble. So you tried to protect yourself, tried not to believe too much, tried to keep your expectations low to avoid another devastating disappointment. But your stubborn heart, that Scorpio heart that refuses to die, even after 1,000 deaths, kept whispering, "What if this time it's real?" Scorpio, I know part of you is still afraid to believe, afraid to open your heart to the possibility that good things really do happen, that you truly deserve joy, that your life can completely change for the better, because you know pain so intimately that it's almost become your most faithful companion. And there's a strange part of you that has learned to feel safe in the darkness, because at least there you know what to expect. But what if I told you that it's okay to let the light in, that you no longer need to protect your heart with all those layers of armor, that the news coming is real, solid, deserved, and that you can receive it with an open heart without fear of it being taken away from you? I need you to do something right now. Leave a comment saying, "I'm ready to receive my victory." It's not just a sentence, it's a declaration to the universe that you're finally allowing yourself to believe. It's you letting your guard down and admitting that yes, you want this, you desire this, you deserve this. And when you write these words, you're creating an energetic opening for the good news to reach you with even greater force. You're allowing yourself to be seen in your hope, in your vulnerability, in your genuine desire to be happy. Your courage in publicly admitting that you still believe, even after everything, can inspire other Scorpios to do the same, to allow themselves to be optimistic, to open themselves to possibilities, to trust that their dark periods have finally come to an end. The news that's coming will arrive unexpectedly, not in the way you imagined or planned. The universe has a sense of drama that rivals your own, Scorpio. So don't look in the obvious places. The big breakthrough could come from a casual conversation, a random encounter, or an opportunity disguised as something completely different. And when it arrives, you'll feel it in your body before you understand it in your mind. You'll feel that shiver that runs up your spine, that tightness in your chest that isn't anxiety, but recognition. That feeling of, this is real, this is important, this will change everything. Your Scorpio body, so attuned to invisible energies, will know it before your consciousness fully processes it. The tears will come suddenly. Maybe you're in a public place and have to hold back the tears until you get home. Or maybe they'll come instantly without warning, because the magnitude of what's happening is too great to contain. And there will be no shame in these tears. They are sacred. They are the release of years of pent-up tension, of pent-up hopes, of silent pain, finally transmuted into explosive joy. You'll want to tell someone, but at the same time you'll want to keep it to yourself for a while. Savor this victory in secret before sharing it with the world. It's Scorpio's nature to protect precious things by keeping them hidden until you're sure they're safe, and that's okay. Allow yourself this private moment of celebration before letting others in. What makes this moment particularly significant is that it marks the end of a cycle of trials that tested you to the limits of what you thought you could endure. You've experienced a symbolic death, perhaps several, where old parts of you had to die so that something new could be born. And this news is confirmation that rebirth is real, that the phoenix isn't just a poetic metaphor for Scorpios. It's literal. All those times you felt invisible, where your effort went unrecognized, where you gave your all and it seemed no one noticed, it was all being recorded. The universe has a perfect memory, and now it's paying its debts to you with interest. The reward that's coming isn't just proportional to what you've done recently. It's proportional to everything you've accumulated through years of invisible work, of silent sacrifices, of continuing when it would have been so much easier to give up. For some of you, this news will involve money in unexpected ways, an opportunity that multiplies your resources, a debt that is forgiven, a source of income that appears when you need it most. And it won't just be enough. It will be abundant enough to give you not only security, but freedom. Freedom to make choices based on what you want, not what you desperately need. For others, the news will be emotional and relational. Someone you love will finally see you completely. Or someone new will enter your life and immediately recognize your worth in a way no one else has before. Or a complicated relationship situation will resolve itself in a way that honors everyone involved, especially you. And you'll realize you no longer need to settle for crumbs of affection when you deserve the full feast. For others, the news will involve health and vitality. A worry that haunted you will have a positive and surprising resolution. Or you will discover a new approach that completely transforms how you feel in your body. Or you will simply wake up one day and realize that the weight you were carrying, physical, mental, or emotional, is simply gone. It disappeared overnight, as if it had never been there. But regardless of the specific form your news takes, what they all have in common is this: they prove that you weren't wrong to believe, that your stubborn faith in maintaining hope, even when everything seemed hopeless, wasn't naivete. It was profound wisdom. It was your Scorpio spirit refusing to accept less than you knew was possible, even when all external evidence suggested otherwise. Scorpio, your finest hour isn't coming because you did everything right. It's not a reward for perfection. It's coming because you kept going even when everything felt wrong, because you got up after every fall, sometimes with broken bones and a shattered heart, but you got up anyway. Because you turned every betrayal into wisdom, every loss into strength, every ending into a new beginning. You are a master of transformation, not because you read about it in books, but because you have experienced it firsthand. You have descended into your personal hells not once, but many times, and have always found your way back. And each time you have returned, you have brought with you treasures that exist only in those depths. An understanding of human nature, compassion for those who suffer in silence, an inner strength that cannot be broken because it has been tested beyond all reasonable limits. The news that's coming won't just change your external circumstances. It will validate something you needed to hear, that your suffering wasn't punishment, it was preparation. That your struggles weren't punishment for some flaw of yours. They were training for something greater. That you weren't forgotten in the depths. You were being forged. And now that the forge has done its work, now that you have been refined and purified through the fires of adversity, you are ready to receive what was being prepared for you all along. Not the small version you would have settled for before, but the grand version that only someone with your depth and resilience could truly appreciate and make good use of. In the coming days and weeks, stay alert. News could arrive at any moment. It could be a phone call. It could be an email. It could be a chance encounter that turns out to be anything but. It could be a sudden insight that completely changes your perspective and opens doors you never knew existed. Keep your senses sharp, those deep Scorpio senses that always know when something significant is happening. And when the news arrives, when you feel that wave of joy so intense that tears are inevitable, allow yourself to feel it completely. Don't repress it. Don't minimize it. Don't try to be rational or controlled. You've spent too long being strong. The time has come to be joyful without reservation, to celebrate without guilt, to receive without feeling undeserving. You deserve it, Scorpio. You deserve it for every night you spent awake, fighting demons no one else could see. You deserve it for every time you chose integrity when it would have been easier to compromise your values. You deserve it for every person you helped, even when you yourself were broken. You deserve it for continuing to believe in kindness, even after experiencing so much cruelty. Your joy, when it comes, and it will be proportional to your previous pain. And because you've known depths of suffering most people never will, you'll reach heights of happiness most people never will. It's one of the beautiful paradoxes of the Scorpio experience. The deeper you sink, the higher you can climb when you finally turn around. The news that's coming will transform not only your present situation, but it will also illuminate your past in a new way. You'll look back and see that every bad thing that happened was positioning you for this moment. That every door that closed in your face was redirecting you to the right door that was getting ready to open. That every person who disappointed you was simply moving out of the way so the right person could walk in. And it will make sense. All the suffering, all the confusion, all the feeling of being lost in the dark, it will make sense in a way that leaves you breathless. Not because the suffering was necessary in the sense that it had to be that way, but because you were able to transform it into something meaningful, because you didn't let it destroy you, because you used each challenge as fuel to become stronger, wiser, more compassionate. Scorpio, when you cry tears of joy, and you will, those tears will wash away not only the present but also the past. They will heal old wounds you didn't even know were still raw. They will release tensions you've carried for so long you've forgotten what it was like to live without them. They will show you that it's possible to feel light, even after carrying impossible weights for so long. And after the tears dry, a smile will remain, a genuine, wide, unreserved smile. The kind of smile that lights up not just your face but your entire body. The kind of smile others notice and comment on because it radiates from you uncontrollably. The kind of smile only someone who has known the deepest darkness can have when they finally find true light. Your finest hour has arrived, Scorpio. Not because everything will be perfect from now on. You're too wise to believe in fairy tales, but because you'll finally have tangible proof that all your faith, all your resilience, all your refusal to give up were not in vain. You'll have the confirmation your spirit needed, that the universe sees you, rewards you, honors you. Prepare to cry, prepare to smile, prepare to feel gratitude so deep it almost hurts. And prepare to finally breathe with the freedom of someone who knows the darkest days are behind them. The light isn't just coming, it's already here, and you deserve every ray of it. If you felt this truth resonating deep within your Scorpio soul, share it in the comments by writing, "I got the message, I'm ready." Let the universe know that you are open, receptive, and prepared for your victory. Subscribe to the channel because your transformation is just beginning. You'll need guidance to navigate this new chapter of abundance and joy, which can be as challenging to process as scarcity and pain were. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any guidance that can support you in this transition from darkness to light. Your big news is coming. Your tears of joy are on their way. Everything has become possible, and you will finally receive what you always deserved. Prepare your heart. The best is yet to come.